All right, everyone, welcome to today's workshop hosted by Change Labs. Today's workshop is how to bring your business and brand online, and it's with Martin Guerrero. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Change Labs and what we do here. So we work with Native American entrepreneurs in the Tuba City area, Western Navajo, and that's where our headquarters is also located. What we do is for our co-working space, we provide a workspace where entrepreneurs, people running small businesses can come and use our space in terms of the internet, printing things, and also maybe holding small meetings and so forth. Next slide. And for Change Labs, we have 5 programs that we run. Resident designer, co-working, business incubator, doing business, and kinship lending. Next slide. Our resident designer program is where we select one resident designer every year, and he or she works with members of the community and also our business incubator cohort throughout the year. And they do everything from figuring out how to design a website to logos and so forth, and providing consultation information on certain things as well pertaining to websites. Co-working space is where we provide desk space, a workplace for members of the community and business owners and entrepreneurs and startups to do some work, and also to meet with business coaches, and maybe even to hold meetings among their own employees, or maybe consulting with somebody as well. So that's our space, and you're welcome to use it. You just need to make an appointment with me. You can email me at marsha@nativestartup.org. Currently, we're closed because of the pandemic, but once we reopen, we should be running, have the space open to everyone, as many people as I can use the space. Next slide. Our business incubator program is where we select 10 individuals, 10 business owners, startups mostly, and we work with them throughout the year. And what we do is we put them through a program that ranges from learning everything about, as much as they can, about marketing, logo designs, and also bookkeeping and so forth. So it's a year-long program, and they also have a coach that's assigned to them that works with them one-on-one throughout the year. Next slide. We also have kinship lending. This was born out of the pandemic back in March, and basically what we did there is provide small microloans to small business owners in the Navajo and Hopi reservations. And we loaned them out at a 5% interest rate. Currently, we are out of funds, but we're still looking to add more capital eventually. Next slide. We also do doing business, which is basically collecting information, data, and so forth on how business on tribal lands are running, or actually in terms of trying to make an easier way of running a business or setting up a business, because on tribal lands there's a lot of red tape, a lot of hoops people have to go through to be able to start running a business or even finding a site. So what doing business is doing is collecting that information and hopefully using and shedding some light on where the pains are and finding solutions. Next slide. And basically we create resources to help you through the barriers of entrepreneurship and also running a business on tribal lands. Next slide. We also have an app called Res Rising, where it's like a yellow page. So if you want to add your business, you're more than welcome to do so. Our focus is mostly on in the Four Corners area currently. And it's basically where if I were looking for, let's say, a contractor in the Tuba City area, the idea is that we would this app would generate a list of everybody who is a contractor in that area and help you connect business to the customer and vice versa. Next, next slide. On Mondays, we provide 90-minute coaching opportunities for the community. You can make an appointment with us via our website, nativestartup.org/events. And every week we feature a different coach. All of them have different expertise in different areas. So based on their little bio, you can schedule a meeting with one of our coaches. Next slide. And now I'm going to introduce to you Martin Guerrero. He's doing how to bring your business and brand online with Square. He's worked with Square for a while now, and he does a lot of presentations for Native Americans and other communities. So without further ado, I'm introducing you to Martin, and I'm turning the time over to him.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Very excited to be here. Like you mentioned, my name is Martin Guerrero. I work for the small business and community advocacy team here at Square. I've been with Square now a little over 2 years. I joined this team late last year, coming from Weebly.com, which was an e-commerce platform that Square purchased to be the new e-commerce solution for Square. You may have known Square as the in-person payments, right? The little white reader for your phone to be able to take payments, but we also offer e-commerce as well. I'm coming today from here in Sacaton, Arizona, on the Gila River Indian Reservation, where my wife is a tribal member, live here, and currently working from home. So this is where my office is. Happy to be representing Square here in Arizona, and looking to definitely partner with great organizations such as Change Labs here for further advancement of Indigenous entrepreneurs and small business owners. So today, our webinar is bringing your business and brand online. And really just going to be the tips and tricks and to selling successfully online. So if you're a business getting online for the very first time, or maybe you've had you have a basic online presence and are looking to build out something more robust, then this presentation is going to be geared towards you. So to really help you out in your journey, I want you to think about why you want to get online in the first place. What's the purpose of the site you want to build, right? And the purpose of this site you want to build is the somewhat obvious reason for what you think a website can do for you. Some of the most common purposes I hear are, attract traffic and grow audience, showcase my products, share what you know, advertise your business, right? And entertain your readers or audience. While those are all great reasons to have a website, they don't necessarily help you do anything specific, which is why you need to turn that purpose into a goal. And the goal is the real reason why you want and need a website. It's what you want to happen as a result of having it. Next slide. All right, so here are some common purposes and what the real goal is behind them, right? So when you say I want to attract traffic, grow an audience, maybe that's to sell an ebook to your audience, or sell jewelry or pottery or whatever it might be, right? Showcase your products. You're really saying I want to sell more products, right? I want to be in that e-commerce space where folks can buy online, I can ship to them, or maybe if I have a small boutique of some sort, some sort of retail space, they can come pick that up in person or curbside. Share what you know, right? Maybe you want to be sharing your expertise on a specific subject because you want to book more speaking engagements, right? You want to be able to get more business to where you can share what you know and gain your business that way. Advertise your business, probably the most common, right? Maybe you want to advertise your business because you want to increase consultation registrations. You're an independent consultant and you want to gain more traffic to be able to increase those registrations and increase your business. And then entertain your readers. Maybe you want to be building a newsletter subscriber base so you can have that great list of folks that you can email market to when you have new products or services that you want to offer. So yeah, again, those are some real common purposes and what the goal behind them could be. So really look at it from that angle. Next slide. All right, so now that we've gotten to the heart of why you want your business online. We're going to go over the content you need to make that happen, right? So we'll be going over the website essentials, domains, product photography, video, calls to action and email marketing, and then social media. And then if we have time, we'll go over some search engine optimization as well. Next slide. All right, so first up, website essentials, right? Going to review some of the basics that any successful website should have. And this is based off of really high functioning websites, high converting websites. Next slide. All right, so number one thing here, logo, right? If you have one, and you should, it should be displayed right away, either in one of the upper corners or really right in the center there. One of the first things people see. And you want to make sure that logo, fits into your brand in every way, especially with the color scheme there. Number two here, search box. The search box is a big one, especially when it's in the upper fold, right? That's the top part of the website you see when you get to it and before you have to scroll down. Research shows that simply having the option to search your site puts buyers at ease, even if they don't use it. Just knowing that it's there, it works as a transparency cue for buyers, right? You're not hiding anything. You're free to search and just look for what you want. You don't necessarily have to dig through pages and pages. You can search for it and find what you want, just with a simple search. The footer. Studies show that after a person visits your site, after looking at the main navigation and the header image, they'll scroll down to the bottom to check the footer, right? They'll get down to the bottom of the page. This is a great place for contact info, social media, and even newsletter sign-up forms, because the footer is going to go across every single one of your pages. Social media links, right? This goes to social proof and things that are familiar, right? Buyers are going to do some investigating into your business, and today that means looking at your activity on social media, right? So if you have it there, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your your YouTube links, just having those there showing folks, hey, I can be seen here. If you want to get more content about me, you can see me here and see that I have, visitors, I have subscribers, I have, followers. Again, go into that social proof that I'm legitimate, I'm out there and can be easily found. Your header image, right? So the header image being one of the first pieces of content visitors see on your website plays a key role in grabbing their attention and establishing that connection, right? Also, a great image can give your website the personality to make it stand out among the competitors and make you easily recognizable. Mobile optimized, it goes without saying, right? Everyone is doing all their internet and their shopping on smartphones, right? Major driver of e-commerce sales, especially this year that we saw, and the percentage of sales coming from mobile devices, goes up every year. It's shot up even more than expected this year, and will just continue to do so. Secured, right? A must-have for any website. So you'll hear this as having an SSL, a secure socket layer. Really, what that means is when you go to a website, you'll see HTTPS, or you may see the padlock, or even the address bar turn green, showing that it's secure. Really, it's just a must-have for any website. And Google, Yahoo, Bing will ding you on your search engine rankings and maybe even not display your page if it's not secure. And then standard pages, right? When you're building your website, we're human beings, right? We're used to things that are familiar. So really sticking to things that are standard, right? Your home, about, shop, product pages, contact pages, right? Those are standard pages that you would see on any site of any size. And then, of course, really, you can have as many pages as you want, but really having those standard pages for folks to easily find those, makes for an easy browsing experience. Next slide. All right, so we're going to go over, what you want to consider when registering your business's domain name. This is essentially your address on the internet. Next slide. All right, so the most common domain extensions are your .com, .net, info, and org. These were some of the first domain extensions that were ever offered and existed. So of course, they're going to be the most recognizable. Number one here, making it easy to spell and memorable, right? If you use slang or words with multiple spellings, right, like express with the E or express with an X, it makes it harder for your customers to find your site. Also makes it easier for competitors to register a similar domain name, right? And maybe siphon away traffic. Keep it short, simple, and predictable as much as you can, right? If your domain name is long and complex, you risk customers mistyping, misspelling it. Short and simple as you can is always going to be, the way to go. Avoid hyphens and numbers if you can. Right, numbers and hyphens are all, usually misunderstood, right? Is it the number 5? If you say your website name, is it the number 5? Is it the numerical number 5? Right, people get kind of confused there. So, and then hyphens, they're not sure where they are, how many you have. So if you can, avoid those as much as you can. And then use keywords and research it, right? If you don't have a unique business name, right, then consider using keywords that describe your business and services you offer. So like, Phoenix windshield repair, right? Maybe you don't have a custom name, but your domain name is, Phoenix, showing that you're in the Phoenix area and you do windshield repair, right? Those are 2 keywords that folks would type in to Google or any other search engine to find your business. And then, choosing a domain name that's catchy and memorable is essential. So if you do, if you're looking for domain names, you register your domain name really at any time, even before you have a website. So if you come up with a name, I would, and you find the one you like, it's available, I would register that as soon as you can. And domain names are fairly inexpensive. I mean, you can get most anywhere for, 10 to 20 bucks a year for a domain name. So if you find one and maybe you have to change it later, it's usually not that big of an investment. So yeah, if you get it, then, if you see it's available, act on it and protect your brand name. All right, so now that you have, your domain name locked in, what can you do with it? Right. So number 1 is obviously connected to your website, right? So, hey, mybusinessname.com, go here, check me out, buy from my site, right? Number 2 is creating a custom email address. So, info@mynewwebsiteaddress.com, right? Showing you as a legitimate type business. And so once you have that, right, and replacing that with with a Gmail or a Yahoo or even an AOL address, making you look more reputable and more like a professional type of business. And then number 3, register your social media handles to match, right? So if you have a business name or your domain name, definitely register your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter handles to match that as close as possible. Next slide, please. All right. So when you're shopping online, right, you're paying really close attention to images, even without realizing it, right? We're visual beings. We see, we see everything, right? So we know that product photos are important, but just how important are they? We run a lot of stats here, a lot of data. So we ran a survey of e-commerce shoppers to find out just how important photography is to their purchasing decisions. Over 75% of e-commerce shoppers said product pictures are very influential when they're deciding whether they want to buy a product. A good product really is worth a good product photo really is worth 1,000 words. If I can't see it, I can't make a decision about it, said one of our survey responders. And then over 25% of online product returns are because an item looked different than the photo on the website. So let's look at an example here of what a good product photo would look like. Next slide. So first off is our before example, right? This is an example on a website here. And the green background is not necessarily bad, but the reflection within the image, it makes it distracting. You're kind of trying to see in there what's going on. There's some waves to it there, really kind of distracting from the overall photo itself. Next slide. And then this is the after, right? So the photo itself with the all white background, really making that photo stand out. And you'll see, almost the majority of product photos are going to be on a white background, right? Kind of that Amazon effect where they don't have any backgrounds. But, if you're getting, you can have colored backgrounds if it's in line with your overall brand, your color scheme, right? I would highly recommend just solid colors versus like those ones with patterns or any type of imagery in there to make it stand out. Next slide. All right, so some tips and best practices when you're taking your product photos, right? Keep testing until you find out what works for your product photos, right? It may not be just a straight on head-on photo. It might be an angled photo from the side, might be better, or maybe a top-down view might be the best one. So just, really experiment with it. Don't just take one and done. Really kind of take a look at it and show those photos to friends and family to kind of get their opinion on them. And again, like I mentioned, about 3/4 of all product photos on the internet right now are on white backgrounds. But if you're looking to build a unique brand, right, for your site that stands apart, you can consider bright colors, prints, as long as they match your overall brand and don't distract too much from the actual product itself. And then nearly 2/3 of shoppers say that multiple camera angles are most influential in helping them make a buying decision, right? So like with jewelry, showing it on someone's wrist, right, from the top, from the side, really, if it's intricate, something that's really intricate, right, like some sort of weave, anything like that, you really want to showcase that in the best possible angles. And then over half of e-commerce shoppers said that photos showing close-ups and distance shots of the product are important, right? So really showcasing that product like you would if you were in person, right? So think of the buying experience. If someone was in your shop, right, and you were showing them, a piece of jewelry, a bracelet, right? You would hand it to them. They could see it in their hand, maybe even put it on their wrist to kind of look at it, right? You want to give them that visual, right? So then they can imagine them seeing that. So you'll see a lot of jewelry, right? You'll see a hand, like watches, rings. You'll see it on a person's hand, just to kind of give them that visual, so they can kind of imagine that's their hand, their wrist, and seeing the jewelry and kind of future pacing themselves there. And then artistic considerations aside, use lighting that brings out the best representation of your product, whether that's really bright lighting or whether shading. Use the best lighting. Again, that goes to just taking more shots than you need, really just experimenting with that. I know there's a lot of product photography has really seen a boom, in the last few years. I've seen a lot of product, family photographers, taking on product photos as a new line of business because it's so popular and folks really want to showcase their stuff in a really good light. So, I mean, you can even buy the light boxes now, like, out there that you can, it's really fully lit, all white. You can put your product in there and just, stick your camera phone in there right from there. And you don't necessarily have to have, the most professional camera. I mean, the phones we have in our pockets have, almost the highest quality cameras now you can get. So, don't be afraid to use those. All right, so we're going to get up now. Video, really, how consumers are consuming content nowadays. It's really the king of content lately. So we're going to look at that next. The next slide. Okay, so as I mentioned, nowadays video is king of content, right? TikTok, we saw that explosion, right? Really short clips of videos. Same thing with Instagram stories and all of that. So we're going to look at the most used types of videos that folks use in marketing today, and what kind of objective each kind of serves. So number one here, educational videos. If you're looking to increase your brand discoverability, educational videos are the best type of video content to help achieve your goal, right? And that's where you're talking about your product, what it is, how it's made, that kind of thing. And then product photos, product videos, right? Gear your videos towards showing your product's benefits, right? That'll resonate with your audience. Don't just explain a list of features, really show, if it's something that can be used, showcase someone really using it in a video. So again, they can really imagine themselves doing that same thing there. And then, culture or company videos, right? Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of a great story. So use company videos to tell yours, right? Show them the real people on your team. It really helps to humanize your brand and boost trust. So you'll see a lot of that on Instagram today, like you'll see a lot of behind the scenes, right? See hashtag BTS, behind the scenes. A restaurant might showcase, what it looks like in the kitchen when they're prepping or what they're cooking like. What that kind of shows, to kind of show you, what's behind the curtain, right? To show you, hey, here's us. Maybe you're a retailer and you're showing you and your crew, taping up boxes, shipping, getting ready to ship things, really humanizing that aspect. Like, hey, we're a family business. Here's me and my family getting your products ready to ship out. Folks really, really love that. And then FAQ videos, probably one of the most common there, right? And those videos should answer the most common doubts that your clients have. A clear FAQ video can kind of clear any doubts and get them really to do business or make a purchase with you. And then testimonial videos can help really build out your brand trust by showing your clients talking in front of the camera, talking about their initial pain points and how product or services solved that for them. Those work in another avenue as well, because even though they're about you, they're not from you, right? It's not you saying how great your company is, how great your product is. This is someone in the community, someone real talking about it. So even though it's not from you, it is about you, and really kind of goes to that social proof, right? Here's someone that made a purchase with us, did business with us, that's really willing to talk about that experience and give a testimonial there. Really powerful. And then, how-to videos. That's probably the most, one of the most searched things on Google, right? Or on YouTube. How to do this, right? How to cook this, how to make that, how to fix this, right? So again, if you can do that with your videos, if you're going to offer video on your site, that's a great way to do that. Okay, next slide. All right, so next up, we're going to be talking about calls to action. So if you fail to use calls to action, or you'll hear them referred to as CTAs. Next slide. To guide users through your site, then doing down a path of doing business with you, you could be driving away audiences, because you have to remember, when folks are on your website, you're not there in front of them, right, to tell them where to go, right? If they walk into your shop, there's no way for you to tell them, oh, go here to this rack, go to that, right? So on your website, you kind of have to direct them there. All right, so calls to action here. So here's an example of a call to action on Square's website, right? So you'll notice the blue button really stands out from the dark background. Your eye is pretty much immediately drawn to it, right? And we're telling you what to do there, right? It's not, really rich-wash, start a free online store. It's telling you what exactly to do and what you're going to be doing by clicking on that. And then, some examples here, right? Buy now. I mean, we've all seen them, right? We've all been told what to do on a website with buttons or calls, in this case, calls to action, right? Buy now, shop now, upgrade today, give our workout routine a try, sign up today, receive this, right? That's a great one there to be able to do that. So you really want to place your calls to action where people can easily see them. Ideally at the top, or the center of the page, make them stand out by using large font, bright colors, or contrasting colors, like in the example here, right? And then tell people exactly what they're going to be doing if they're going to subscribe, right? The one here, right? Sign up today, right? Not think about signing up, not try signing up another time. It's sign up today, right? Really clear, and then you're going to get 25% off your next order, right? You're signing up today, and you're getting 25% off your next order, and that's also telling you you're going to be placing an order, right? And you're going to get 25% off of that. So again, you're telling them sign up and buy, and not so, and not those exact words, but that's what you're, really pushing them to do there. And then, donate today and see how your kindness can make a difference, right? And then you could even use your call to actions to drive them to watch one of the videos, right? We just discussed, right? Watch one of our educational videos, cultural videos, anything like that. And then you'll see a lot of calls to action, right? I mean, sign up to get this free, right? Get a free handout, or get a free, video or a coupon, anything like that. We all like free stuff. So if you have anything to offer like that, that's always a good way to get folks, incentivize folks to do that. All right, so we're gonna move on to email marketing. I love email marketing just because, I mean, it's proven over, that it's the #1 channel really for generating return on your investment. In 2020 alone, 306 billion emails were sent and received each and every day. So even though email marketing has been around for a long time, and it can kind of get a negative connotation, right, with spam, right? But it's still, when it comes to marketing your business, you really can't afford to ignore something as valuable as email marketing. So what is it, right? Simply, it's email. It's the use of email to promote your products or services, right? But it's not just limited to that. A great email program, right, is an important opportunity for you to create or deepen the relationship between you and your customers. Still, again, one of the most cost-effective forms of digital marketing today, and can generate great results for your online store. All right, so if you're just getting started with email marketing, and maybe if you don't have a website right now, you're going to be building one, I would highly recommend you still add something on your website, folks to be able to sign up for your newsletter, right? It doesn't mean you have to send anything immediately, but just starting to build that subscriber base, right? So when you do have enough, or you have a good amount of folks to do that, it's always great to have that ready to do so. And ask yourself, what do I look forward to receiving in my inbox, right? I have, obviously my work email, a couple of personal emails, and I have my newsletter email, the one I use to subscribe to shops that I visit, right? I do a lot of small business shopping, being in the business that I'm in. I use that email to get, newsletters, updates, coupons, right? That's the one I use. And then I so what can I share with my customers that they might not know, or what they would find interesting, so that when you're really creating your newsletters or just your campaigns, right? These could be personal stories about a product that you just created, It could be the chef's inspiration behind a new dish, or just news about the industry that you're in, right? I always like to tell folks, if you're informing, you're already being interesting. If you're interesting, it's not going to feel like an advertisement, like it's just a straight up ad. So even if you're not ready, again, if you're not ready to start marketing, at least include that sign up and then just build your base there. Okay. And then, like I said, email conversion rates are 40 times that of Facebook and Twitter. For every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average return of anywhere from $38 to $42 per that. So again, great return on your investment there. And when we talked about video, right? Videos in your email can increase click rates by 300%. That's a pretty staggering amount there. All right. Social media, right? It's a big one and one that's still evolving, right? So it's a great way to use to help build your brand awareness and connect with your customer base. So let's talk about some of the best ways to do that. All right. So, no social media account can replace your website, right? Which is your digital home. I like to say that your website is the center of gravity for your online presence, right? So you can use all of the networks out there, social media, to increase awareness and direct folks right to your website, because that's where you control everything, right? You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter. Those are their platforms, and they could change things, right? They could start charging, and they could ban you. Like, your website is where you control everything that's on there, right? So let's review what you can do to be successful with social media marketing. Number one, do your research, right? On which social networks does your target audience hang out? You don't have to be on all of them just to be on all of them, right? If you're not doing videos all the time, you don't have to be on YouTube, right? Figure out which ones are going to work the best for you, and find out where are your competitors, right? I mean, if you're in a competitive industry, you might have to be on those same networks to offer, your side, and your product as well. And then what does, each network offer you? If you're really into, doing video, Instagram, TikTok, those would be great options, right? And then number two here, defining your strategy. As you all know, goals help give us direction, right? They're also how we'll know if we succeed, right? So what is that you want to accomplish with social media? The goal necessarily shouldn't just be followers and likes, right? Maybe you want to generate a certain number of new leads to your business, right? Or you want to drive a number or percentage of new website views, right? Perhaps it's a certain number of new inbound calls to your business as a result of that, and then seeing your sales reach a certain number, right? Maybe you want to see awareness of your brand increase in a positive direction, really just letting folks know that you're out there. And then number three, it's not enough for people to simply see your social media content, right? You want them to listen to and engage with it. So it helps to ensure that's not all about you, right? If they're commenting or asking questions, be sure and respond and answer as much as you can. They're following you because you're sharing interesting information and they want to know more about you. So definitely creating those opportunities to engage and relate is huge, right? And the next two here, create shareable content and measuring success. I'm going to break those are big ones there. So I'm going to break those down into their own slides coming up here. So next slide. So let's break down the different types of content you can create and share with your followers. Going to be similar to the video here. Number one, again, how to, whether it's a video demo, a series of photos, or just simple text, how-to content is incredibly valuable to users. And we see that demand just increase more and more every day. Inspirational content, right? Making someone's day and motivating them to action with inspirational content, right? Emotional content, right? A greeting card company, for instance, could showcase a child opening a physical birthday card, right, from his grandparents, right? A reminder that emails and video calls that we're all on nowadays aren't everything, right? Sometimes just having that physical item, can give a connection there. And then again, reviews and testimonials, again, super powerful, right? Even though it's about you, it's not from you, really goes to that social proof that, hey, here's someone besides them talking about their product, their service, and how amazing it is. And then insightful, right? Don't miss an opportunity to share insights, and don't be afraid to get a little personal, right? Show your followers what's behind the curtain. We kind of talked about earlier in the videos, the behind the scenes stuff, right? Letting folks know, hey, we're out here, we're doing this, we're struggling because of that, right? Like, we've seen, obviously small businesses have been hit, just in record numbers, right? How hard they've been hit because of the pandemic, and it's really, top folks to really support small business because they see them struggling, because they're on their social media, they're on their videos showing like, hey, we're a real business, right? There's two of us here, and we're working to stay in business. We appreciate your support, right? So anytime you can showcase anything like that, really, really powerful. All right. So how do you know if your work is paid off, right? What does success look like? Are you getting a return on any investment you made? So these are some of the metrics that you want to consider, right? Followers, fans, and views on their own, these numbers don't mean much, but certainly give you a sense of your reach, right? As those increase, now you know you have a bigger base and more folks that are looking to engage with you. And that kind of leads right into engagement, right? If you have a ton of followers, but are they responding? Are they commenting? Are they sharing your posts, right? That's really what you want to have happen. Because if I find, I follow many small businesses and entrepreneurs on like Instagram, for instance, right? If I find something that's really interesting that I think other folks would find interesting, maybe they're not following that business, I want to share it because I want to participate in that, right? So really engaging in helping a business grow. And then kind of goes again to shares, right? What content is motivating your followers to share it, right? Is it one of those different types of content we just discussed earlier, right? That kind of gives you a sense of the appetite that folks have for your content. And then clicks, right? So we talked about calls to action. You can have calls to action in your social media as well. The most common one, right, is you'll see, click on the link in our bio, right? You'll see that a lot. And that's a call to action in itself, right? So if you have, click the link in our bio, you can see that in, Google Analytics will give you the content, will let you know how many clicks you're getting from a website. If folks are coming to you from Instagram, your analytics program will tell you, hey, you got 100 new visitors from Instagram. That shows you, man, folks are really resonating. They're clicking the link in the bio like I asked them to. And then action. Once they're on your website, are they signing up for the newsletter? Are they submitting a contact form? Are they buying? Right? You want to know, if you're giving them a call to action to purchase, then have your sales gone up? Right? So that's something you can definitely measure. I believe someone asked a question about if this was being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded. So we can share that out with you later on. So when you look at the landscape, of social media, right? There's no question it's vast. It's huge, right? And I can understand that can be overwhelming, especially for a small business, unfamiliar with the topic. But if you take the time to learn it and do it right, by doing it right, I mean by being authentic, right? Offering content your audience craves, responding to and building a relationship with your followers, it can really generate big returns. My wife and I, being that I work for Square and small businesses, the heart of our business, right? We really make it a point to support small business. So anytime we can do that by either sharing content or obviously making purchases, we'll do that. And folks, you'll find that folks have an appetite for that right now as well. Folks really want to engage with small business and support them. They really want to see their favorite shop or restaurant or a little retail pop-up boutique be there once things kind of normalize here. All right, so real quick on search engine optimization, you'll hear it as SEO, right? It's the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website, right? The goal of SEO is not just to get visitors to your site, but by getting the right type of visitors to your site, right? The folks that are going to engage with your content. And these are some of the analytics that are out there, or some of the resources that are out there for free that you can use if you're really wanting to look at how your website is doing. Google My Business is free. Google My Business is your business profile on Google. That's something for any business I would claim automatically. Just go to Google My Business, and it'll walk you through how to set that up. Google Analytics connects with just about any website builder out there. Free to connect, free to use, gives you a ton of data about your website. How long people are spending on your website, how many clicks each page is getting, how many pages are visiting, anything like that, right? Google Search Console kind of goes hand in hand with analytics, but Google Search Console will give you more data about the types of keywords that people are searching for. So you can kind of use those types of keywords on your website. Google AdWords. So Google AdWords is a paid program, right, where you pay them to market specific keywords to drive traffic to your business. But they have a free tool called a keyword planner that you can use without paying. And it gives you information on specific keywords, how many, the keywords that people are searching for in your county, in your zip code, in your state. So you can see which ones are really popular, and also which ones are not as popular. So maybe you want to target those because you're offering that. You can see, okay, there's not a lot of competition for these keywords. I can be the industry leader there. And then Moz.com was started by some ex-Google employees that worked on their search and stuff. They have free tools there as well. Cool. So that's the end of my presentation. I would highly recommend, if you for more resources and a place to connect with other business owners, I would highly recommend you can go into sellercommunity.com. That's the Square business forum where we have what we have called super sellers. Others, we refer to our business owners as sellers, folks that are using Square, answering questions from each other. We have our Square employees there answering questions, FAQs, a lot of resources there as well. Of course, if you're going to square.com, you can do that there as well. So Marcia or Heather, do we have time for questions? Are we out of time? I'm happy to take questions if we have time to do so.
Yeah, you have time, Martin. We have like another 40 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if everybody has questions, feel free to add in the chat there. I'm happy to answer anything here. I'll kind of go back here today. So yeah, if you guys saw earlier, change that I mentioned that we donated some of the contactless readers for attendees today. So you're happy, definitely, you can use those. That's going to be the contactless chip reader here. So, it takes chip cards, so you can take it right in there. It also does Apple Pay, Google Pay, so you can do tap payments as well. And then again, it's Bluetooth, so it just connects to your phone by Bluetooth. So you can have this on the counter, anything like that, that allows for some social distancing. And then, again, this is all the tools and tips and tricks we mentioned in the chat here are not Square specific, right? You could, if you're looking to build your website with any type of web builder, this all still applies, right? Square obviously does have its own online store that works in conjunction with your in-person selling. So if you're using Square to take payments in person, we have a free website builder that you can use if there's interest in that. We do have some webinars on that. I walk you through how to build your website with Square from step one to, from A to Z all the way through.
I have a question.
Okay.
I did a customer, I don't know if you want to say survey, but I reached out to some of our customers, our businesses, catering and meal kit. And what I wanted to know from them is, just feedback. And one of the biggest ones that I got back, because we're in Hopi, really rural area, and a lot of them don't have internet, or their internet isn't secure enough, or it goes spotty sometimes. So I guess what would you suggest on trying to reach more customers, or because I don't know, now hearing from our customers if online is a right way to go at this point, I should say.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, not having great online connectivity in some areas makes it tough, right? You'll always want to have an online presence because that gives you a presence anywhere that there's the online capability, right? You don't want to just limit necessarily to that. Now, as a caterer, you probably don't want me here in Sackatoon, ordering food for you to deliver, right, from Hopi land there. So, I mean, I get that, but personal flyers, right, might still be an option, like for areas where it's rural and you're able to mail out. So, I mean, you might look at mailing out flyers with phone number. I mean, that's still way folks do business. I mean, we still, I still get flyers in the mail for folks that, I'll take a look at them, right? So that, I mean, that might be a way to do that. But yeah, I mean, not having connectivity all the time in some rural areas makes it difficult. But I mean, the connectivity gets, better and better. And I know there's several organizations looking at bringing broadband to more and more areas, in rural areas, reservations especially. So it's only going to get better. So I would not, discourage you from doing an online presence.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. I saw a comment here. Awesome, Gregory. So before I started using Square, I was losing literally hundreds of sales. I'm interested in Square Online Store. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we can talk to Change Labs about doing, those as well. It's a free platform, right? So as I mentioned at the beginning, so I started at Weebly.com back in 2015, and they were, only online, right? It was an e-commerce solution. Everyone knows Square, right, as the in-person payments, the card readers and all that. So they purchased Weebly to be their online store. And so it's a free online store that you can set up. If you have a Square account right now, you can go in there and just click on the online button, and it'll take all your items that you have now and move those over into the online space. So it goes back and forth. So if you're tracking inventory, anything you sell online, that number will go down, right? So if you have 10 of a specific, item like a t-shirt, right? You have 10 t-shirts, you sell 5 on the online store. Well, your inventory now only shows that you have 5, right? And once it sells out, you won't be able to purchase any more online. So again, really keeps everything in sync there. And it's just an extension of your in-person sales. We've seen a huge focus on that, especially with folks, like retailers, boutiques that still have a physical presence because maybe they're stuck in a lease for a certain amount of time, right? Or folks still have some walk-in traffic, but their online experience has grown exponentially. So really having both of those, if you have both, it's going to make it even more successful. Yeah, I mean, if we don't have any more questions, I mean, I'm happy to partner with you guys for more here. If you guys want to learn more on how to use the actual readers themselves, happy to do something like that. So, Marcia and Heather and I will discuss that and see, what else we might be able to do.
Hi again, everyone. And our next webinar is on boosting social media and digital marketing knowledge, which would be next week on the 27th at 11, the same time. You're welcome to join us. We hope to have you again for everyone that attended today. And if you don't have any more questions, this would be the conclusion of our webinar. And thank you for your time, Martin, and everyone that's here. And I hope to see you guys next week.
Awesome. Yeah, that's how I found out about you guys. I signed up for one of your webinars, so here I am doing one now. So good stuff. Yeah, that's a great topic. Boosting your social media and digital marketing. That's so important and can be done, for free for the most part. So yeah, I would highly recommend joining that webinar next week.
Yeah, thank you. And one more thing, I forgot to wish Uriah a happy birthday and happy inauguration
Uriah.
to everyone. Yeah.
It's a great day.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Cool. All right. Bye, everyone.